Sometime in the spring of 2004, I was appointed by the commander of Tucson Post 549 VFW to represent the post on the Veterans Affairs Committee, City of Tucson. It was in this committee that I met Messrs. Norman Ross and Paul Marsh. During one of the monthly committee meetings, Mr. Marsh broached the subject of a cemetery for the veterans in Tucson and the surrounding area. Shortly thereafter, I was asked by those two gents if I would consider being on their working group to get a cemetery put in the area. I responded positively to that request. And this letter is sent to Mr. Paul Marsh, organizer, Veteran Cemetery Group, at 8930 East Millet Drive, and that's the address we were using up until the time that we got a post office box where we could have official mail sent to. Dear Paul, subject Veterans Cemetery. I am writing this letter in the hopes that it will initiate some dialogue between the Veterans Cemetery Group, which you chair, and the Veterans Affairs Committee, City of Tucson, another committee on which I sit. The VAC held its monthly meeting tonight, and one of the agenda items was discussion/action for contacting Pima County for help with the effort to bring a national cemetery to the Tucson area. It now appears there may be two agencies working toward very similar goal. In the meeting tonight, I presented some of the information from the cemetery group minutes in the agenda item discussed. This was done with the best of intentions. Perhaps there can be some collaboration in this worthy effort. The VAC chairperson is C. Martin, nicknamed Marty Stevens, expressed his desire to be contacted by you to see if the dialogue might be started. Following is his contact information. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. And that's over my signature when I was treasurer of the Veterans Affairs Committee, and it's dated May the 16th, 2012. Due to the proximity of the cemeteries in Sierra Vista area to Pinal and Pima counties, Norm and Paul's request to get approval for property that they had found southeast of Tucson at that time, the requests were denied. So now we're back to the hunt. It was, in my recollection, 2012 when Paul and Norman announced that our endeavors were finally realized by the donation of acreage in the farmland north of Marana by Mr. John Kai, a longtime Marana resident and businessman. Groundbreaking on this property was in March of 2014. Mr. Marsh's filing with the Arizona Corporation Commission in May of 2015 listed all three of us on the working group with a Tucson attorney as the original corporation. The title of this corporation is the Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemetery Foundation, Incorporated, Marana. The foundation provides financial support to the cemetery in Marana, which stands as the second of 3 state Arizona veterans cemeteries. By Arizona statutes, the state is restricted from expending funds to directly support these cemeteries. It's to provide financial support for things and items that the state cannot provide for the cemetery. It would be things like landscaping. Buildings are not part of that because they become part of the state property. But things that can move around, vehicles, anything to do to support the cemetery itself, is provided for by funding from the foundation. We've had a couple of fundraisers that were involved in selling tickets, which we still do, by the way. We still buy tickets on a donation basis, sell them, and then the money is used to support the foundation. We went to all of the veterans groups in and around the city of Tucson to request both voluntary support and financial support. So the cemetery has really been viable for burials and interments since March or early April 2016 to current. And I don't know the current statistic, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,400 people that have been interred since that time.